Hello and welcome to the Cognate. My name is Sheikh Zakir Hussain. There is a popular Swahili proverb that goes like this. It says, it's easy to give birth. The difficulty comes in raising children. Parenting and educating our children is a challenge. And educating our children about Islam and history about it, it becomes even more challenging. Now, storytelling is a very old form of education. It's not only an effective educational tool, but also teaches moral values, ethics, traditions, and cultures to the students. Zia Ahmed Qadri is the founder of Seerat Box, who's using storytelling as a tool to teach Islam to young minds. Zia Ahmed Qadri, welcome to the Cognate.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you as well. Seerat Box, I think it's been last year that you started around November 2021. Tell us about what exactly Seerat Box did and does, and why did you start Seerat Box?
Yeah, the answer to why does I start Seerat Box is right now it started the journey of my relationship with my son.
Right.
During the start of the pandemic, my son was 1 year old. And during that time also, I used to tell the stories, good night stories. And I have seen that the connection children have with the stories is a lot. They can ask lots of questions related to that story, and parents can teach a lot to the children. During the pandemic, when I was working from home, and that time I realized that there is some kind of gap is there, because if I want to introduce my child to Quranic education or to Allah or to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how I'm going to introduce them? Then I have started looking for different kind of options available. What kind of books are in the market? What kind of literature are available? What kind of resources are there? One part is the teaching resources, learning materials. Other part was, if I want to spend some good amount of time, so how to spend that, how to bring the quality to that time.
Right.
So for that, I need some resources to me. Then while researching, the one thing was very much prevalent, that although there are many literatures available, Islamic literatures available, but those are for some adult children, like for example, above 8 years children or 7 to 8 years children. But I wanted something for 3 to 4 years, 5 years, 6 years children.
Right.
So there was a gap. Other thing is, there are good publishers around the world who has done a good job in bringing Islamic literature for young children also, but those are in English. But I wanted to cater for the Indian audience, where Urdu is also very much popular among Indian Muslims. And other thing is, like every parent wants to teach the religion in their own language,
Right.
like in the mother tongue. And Urdu is the mother tongue of majority of the Indian Muslims in North India and South India as well. So I wanted something in the mother tongue also. That's why the bilingual concept of Seerat Box came. So one thing I catered about the bilingual aspect of it. Other thing was the quality of the books. What I wanted to bring, that according to the child psychology, it should. It should give answers to all the curiosity or all the questions small children can ask about who has created us, or what's the cloud, how the rain happens, who created the stars, and small things that we can teach our children. So storytelling was one part, and with that we have created lots of activities and other books that we will talk about. Sure. So that's how the journey has started during the pandemic. At the end of the pandemic, like Seerat Box was in our hand for the for the parents of the young children.
Right. MashaAllah. That's really good. I mean, as a parent myself, there's been a lot of discussion in my own household as well as to what kind of books that we want to introduce to my child, and what kind of, and when do we introduce Islam to the kids. There's a lot of questions that parents have, especially in teaching, educating, and especially educating Islam to young minds. So it's a beautiful initiative. Before we get into the details of it, I would want to know what your background is, educational as well as professional, because the books that we're dealing with is, of course, Islam, a lot of historical stuff. So you would need to have a background in Islamic knowledge about education, about psychology, probably. And since it's a book format, art, and it is a beautiful, design books as well. I've looked at myself. So what kind of background do you come from?
I myself call myself as an engineering artist.
Okay.
Professionally, I am a mechanical engineer. I have done my BTech in mechanical engineering and then my master's in computational fluid dynamics. And I am computational fluid dynamics engineer, where I deal with the problem related to thermal automotive engineering and those stuffs. And my background is like my father runs a madrasa,
Okay.
where I have some background of Islamic education there. And while studying in Jamia Millia Islamia during my school days, so that time I learned Islamic studies as a subject.
Right.
Yeah, and during my engineering days also the creativity and those and innovation part was always with me. So I wanted so in my during my engineering days and in my current organization also, I always try to add some values to the product or to the things what I am doing. So with that, when this concept has hit me, so nothing can be done alone. So we need a team to guide and to build something.
Right.
So I contacted many for the research purpose, for the content wise. I contacted many ulamas there in from Bhiwandi, Mumbai, Delhi, and my own and the circle of my parent, my father, and I have consulted them regarding the content. And then I have consulted many doctors, engineers, many professionals, lawyers who are actually in the professional field, and they wanted to introduce something to their children. I wanted to know what exactly you are looking for, and then with that, I got lots of like you can see that we have gone through the design thinking approach of developing this project, developing this
Right.
product. Like
Right.
we have started talking to parents, and then whatever the feedback they have given. So that was one aspect. Other thing was like during pandemic there was a situation that people were not sure about the how about the schooling aspect, that my children will go to school for initial days or not, what to do. So lots of homeschooling options were also coming up. I have gone through lots of blogs, lots of on lots of websites where mother of young children, they have started sharing their stories of the home schooling experiences. I have collected all those experiences in a written form, that okay, these are the experiences moms are going through. And especially with the Islamic teachings, when many moms were introducing to their children about Ramzan activity or Eid activity or different kind of activities and books to their children. So I went through lots of blogs there where they have written their experiences. Other than that, then I have contacted children writers who actually writes for the children. So about the to understand while writing for the children what exactly goes through their mind, and how, because the same sentence will be different for the younger one, and same sentence can be presented in different form for the small children. And it is all about wordplay, how we do that. To understand those things, I contacted many, especially I wanted to mention the Amna Khurshid, who is a renowned writer who writes for children. I contacted her and I got lots of feedback, and two of the books of Seerat Box is of her. And then I got some inspiration from an artist from Indonesia, Ahmad Sarfuddin, whose line drawing was very much inspirational, very basic, very interesting. And I got in one of the book I used his designs also. And there was one, my architect friend Amir Iqbal, I have taken help from him to conceptualize the whole to present to the children, how to present in a better way. So
Right.
with that kind of collaboration and research work, we were able to come up with Seerat Box.
MashaAllah. Just like to mention that Amir Iqbal is also the person who designed our logo, the Cognits logo as well.
Great, great.
So yeah, when I first looked at Seerat Box and its logo, I kind of knew that it would be designed by him because he's such an amazing, talented designer. So mashallah, that's great. So talk about the books that you have. I mean, how many books have you guys been able to come up with, and what are the stories in the book, and what are the age groups that you are targeting with these books?
Currently, Seerat Box, this complete box, what we are seeing here, this box contains 11 books and 5 different kind of activities. In 11 books, out of 11, 8 books are board books. So we have categorized the 8 board books into 2 categories. 4 are the Quranic education books, and 4 are general Islamic studies book. When I'm telling the Quranic education book, that means, see, what happens that the children will start learning the small surahs and dua, and they start nazara of Quran by the age of 6 or 7.
Right.
Right. So when they start the nazara, means like the reading of the Quran, that time they don't understand exactly what are the topics covered in the Quran, and they don't need to know in detail much about that. They just need to have some connection with the Quran, to bring that kind of connection, what exactly the topics they are having. So they are reading right now. So we came up with like concept of the things what they are learning currently in the schools right now. For example, about animals, about fruits, about vegetables, about environment, about planets, stars, moon, sun, and all the surroundings whatever we have. So a student connects with those kind of surroundings. So what we have done is like we came up with 4 different books, that is living creatures of Quran, and that you can see here, living creatures of Quran, healthy foods of Quran, and then earth, space and Quran, and environment and Quran. So here you can see these kind of topics is for the 5 to 6 year old children or 7-year-old children. They experiences those, like for example the rain and the wind and the jungles, forest. They know about those things. So we have referred Quran to get these things done. So what happens when small children get introduced to like some animals, so they can know that in the Quran there are 5 different surah, that the that 5 name of the surah are the name of animals actually.
Right.
Like Surah Baqarah is the cow, like Surah Nahl is the bees. So with that we have tried to bring a connection to the Quran for the small children, so that when they start reading the Quran, they have something that okay, this ayat or something, this ayat deals with some animal, this ayat deals with some kind of flowers or some kind of food, so they can have that kind of connection.
Right. Right. And I was talking about the age group. So what kind of age groups are you targeting?
Age groups, initially we targeted age groups of 4 years to 7 years, but later with the parents feedback what we have got, then they said that it's well applicable for up till 9 years, 9 years children also. So we are targeting here to 4 to 9 years old children.
Right. And now that, I mean, you mentioned about a couple of people, some of the people who you've consulted, and a couple of who have you've consulted in terms of writing, in terms of Islamic studies and the concept and everything else. So do you now have a team of people who are working with you, or are you working alone?
Right now, I can say that we have a team of around 4 people.
Right.
So one is myself, one is we have a design team also. And with that, earlier the Amna Khurshid, who was part of the writing team earlier, as she's also full time with us right now and creating the content for the children. And one other consultant we are having, that on basis of they are giving some inputs based on for the content.
Right. So when you go to the website, obviously, I mean, what you have is a box, the Seerat box. It's a large box. So tell us about what, if anybody wants to buy from Seerat box, does he has to buy the entire box, or can they buy individual books as well?
Yeah, right now the entire box is only available to the general public, and so they have to buy the complete box. The complete box is not only about the books; it's also about the different activities, and those activities are somehow related to those books also. So we can't sell it separately. For example, when we have the books of book of kindness, this is a very unique book, and very much appreciation from the parents. And with these books, kindness book, we have the kindness calendar also. And with that we have stickers for the kindness. So this is the kindness calendar, where we have a list of the kindness activities. For example, if a children is helping someone, or offering some glass of water, or simply watering a plant, or holding door for parents, it's a small gesture of kindness. If a children is showing, then we can use some kind of mashallah stickers. That we can use on this mashallah sticker. We can take this sticker and put it here. Mashallah, I was kind today. Similarly, we have the book for history of the book of two holy lands. With this, we have activities of DIY Kaaba board activities. So these activities are linked with these books. So that's why we are offering this complete as a package, so that children can have this and they can play with, they can learn, and parents can spend some good time, like half an hour, 1 hour daily, or some time, so that to teach something, so that to answer some of the questions of the children.
Right. I mean, when you spoke about kindness, and it's a beautiful concept to have a poster, and for the children to get to stick those stickers, because that's something that kids actually enjoy. But I've also seen that a lot of people, I mean, adults also have these kind of posters. For example, some people have the Salah poster, and they have a calendar of how many Salah they've actually missed, and how many Salah they've completed the entire thing, the Sunnah and the Farad, everything else. Do you have something similar also? I mean, is that something that you've included?
Yeah, we are working on those Salah charts and everything. Right now, we have kindness calendar where
Right.
they can have the act of kindness loaded, and with that we have a sadaqah pouch where
Right.
to encourage children to give sadaqah. We have done that so that they can have some 1 or 2 rupees monthly.
Right.
They can collect here.
Correct.
And we have Al Khaliq board where children can play the activity called the creator Al Khaliq. Allah is the creator of everything, and Allah Khaliqun kulli shay'in. So what children have to do, if they are eating some fruits, they can put the seeds here, they can put the flower petals, they can put leaves, all that. Allah is the creator of everything. So with this small activity, children can learn about who is Allah, who Allah is the creator of everything.
Mashallah.
Small activity.
You know what this reminds me. I mean, obviously, I understand why you may not have the Salah thing, because the age group that you're targeting, it's actually not further upon them, to read Salah. It's much later. But also, I mean, one of the things that reminds me, I was reading a book by Abdullah ibn Mubarak. It's actually a book. It's a biography of Abdullah ibn Mubarak, who was one of the great scholar of the Salaf. He is from the Salafus Salihin, and he writes in his book that he spent 30 years of his life learning manners. It was only after he learned manners that he started learning about Islam. That's that's such a powerful thing, because we see that a lot of adults, young obviously, but a lot of adults also, who acquire knowledge, but when it comes to manners, when it comes to being kind towards others, showing compassion towards others, there's a huge gap in that, gap between knowledge and deeds.
Other thing was, there are already books are available for the Salah books are already available, Dua books are already available, selected Hadith books are already available for the children. We wanted to somehow cater something that fill those kind of gaps that we are having. So with that, these activities, we are filling that gaps, and the kind of books that we are having, we are trying to fill that gap, because we have Talimul Islam books and small books for the children to learn duas and small surah. We have those kind of literature in the market.
Correct.
So that's why we have not covered that.
Right. And even when you put your kids, the kids who actually go to schools at this age, what they teach you is they give you these kind of activity books. That's how, through pictures is how people actually, the kids actually learn things. So it's a beautiful thing. Mashallah, I congratulate you as well as the entire team on this. What's the price of this entire, the Seerat box? And if somebody wants to buy this, is it available on your website? Where do they buy this from?
Yes, the price of Seerat box is 2650, 2,650 rupees, but we are giving at the discounted rate of 2,000 rupees, and from our website, that is www.seeratbox.com.
Right.
At 2,000 rupees, it's available.
Mashallah. That's a reasonably priced one, because you have so almost like you mentioned, 8 board books, 2 story books, 1 Seerat book, and 5 activity skits. That's the entire thing that's included in the entire box, and it's just cost you 2,000.
We have got amazing response about the quality of the printing and the design quality and the print quality also. When you look at the book, it's not easily bendable or tearable. It's washed. It's very good quality.
I can see that it's very visible, because kids usually are very rough in terms of books. They actually try to tear it up. So it's a commendable work, alhamdulillah. So what's the future plans? Do you plan to, because some of these stories obviously also resonates with much older kids as well. Older kids can also read this. So do you plan to include more catered to the older kids as well, and adults as well?
Right now we are taking the feedbacks from the parents, and based on because we have gone through the design thinking approach of developing the product. So right now also we are collecting the feedbacks, what kind of books parents are looking for, and we have got some feedbacks. We have got some requirements also, and based on that we are developing some books for the children of age above 8 years right now. And the other thing is, right now the storybooks what we have, English storybooks from book from Amna Khurshid, My Dear Kids, and Urdu storybooks. So we are trying to get these storybooks more and more storybooks for them. And designing aspects of these storybooks also, you can see very much colorful right now. And we are into designing and bringing those, because see, stories we can give 20 or 30 stories in a single book also. But the thing is, like in early days, in early years of childhood, right now is the world of like YouTube videos, cartoons, and apps and games.
Right.
So we want children to love books. We want parents to spend some time with 10 minutes, 15 minutes with the books.
Correct.
Books with the children.
Yes.
So design. So the currently is the requirement that okay, all these, especially Islamic education and the moral education, those books should be very much attractive.
Absolutely.
So that children can put the mobile here and pick the book.
Correct.
So
I mean, as a parent myself, I mean, my kid is 2.5 years old. I see that. I mean, we were very much concerned about, seeing other kids being addicted to phones. And in fact, I mean, I have to confess that sometimes even we, when we are busy, we give off the phone to our kids, and she's connected to the phone for hours and hours. So books are a beautiful way to get connected with the kids. I mean, to get the kid acquainted with the reading habit, with Islam. And of course, you get to spend so much of time, valuable time, that you would never get later on in your life. So this is something that, it's a beautiful thing. Again, I commend you on that. And like you were mentioning about, Urdu, the book being also available in Urdu, right?
Yeah, so all the books, all the literature is available, is bilingual.
Okay.
All the books are in English, Urdu, both. All the activities and everything is bilingual.
So you get both Urdu and English in the same box, or do you have to?
Yeah, in the same box, in the same book. Same book. We have, for example, here we have the book of rhymes. So we have English rhymes also, for Islamic rhymes, and we have Urdu hamd and naat also.
Okay.
So that small children can learn, and all the books are bilingual. Like for example, here the Seerat books that you can see here, we have kept the design of the Seerat books very simple, and just like we wanted to introduce children to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So we have, and in all those books, one more specialty is like the references and the quotations everywhere. For example, we wanted to introduce Prophet as Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to give the fruits to children, the seasonal fruits to children. So all the references, that is Sunan Ibn Majah, all the references are there in all the books. And the design aspect, this is the design of Indonesian artist that Ahmad Sharafuddin that I was telling. Design is very simple, very unique that children can learn.
Right.
And so recently we have exhibited all the Seerat Box in Malegaon Urdu Kitab Mela that happened in December. And we have got amazing response in Kolkata Urdu Book Fair that organized by Urdu Academy Kolkata, that we have presented there, and it was well received, and we got amazing feedbacks there. And recently we went to Educational Conference in Meghalaya with the University of Science and Technology. There also we presented this Seerat Box to many educationalists and many professional people, and they liked it very much. And I'm very happy that people are accepting it and liking it and giving amazing feedbacks, and that keeps us moving. And we are going to bring some more. Some similar to this.
Great. One request is obviously to include other languages as well, because there's a huge population of Muslims who speak Bengali, Malayalam, Tamil, right, and not acquainted with Urdu at all. So that's one request.
Sure.
Right. So that was Zia Ahmed Qadri, who is the founder of Seerat Box. These are books that, I mean, you can request you to check out his website, which is seeratbox.com, and they're also available on Instagram and Facebook, where you can check out the products. And this is especially helpful for parents, for parenting, because visual storytelling is an effective form of teaching kids about about anything, especially about Islam. So instead of giving your kids mobile phones and laptops and making them addicted to those things, books and visually appealing books is a best form of educating your kids. So thank you so much for watching The Cognate, and Zia bhai, thank you so much for being connected with us. It's again a commendable work, alhamdulillah. So we would wish you to see you grow and add more, more such story books going on in the future. And thank you for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Welcome.